Welcome. Today we will address a fundamental topic: the resurrection of Christ. But what is its true meaning? We will explore this question through a unique perspective, the writings of the Baha'i faith. This faith recognizes Jesus as the divine messenger. Here is the text on the resurrection. Question: what is the meaning of Christ's resurrection after 3 days? Answer: the resurrection of the manifestations of God is not of the body. Everything about them, their state, their conditions, everything they do, everything they found, teach, interpret, illustrate, and institute has a mystical, spiritual, and divine meaning and does not belong to the material realm. So it is with the coming of Christ from heaven. In numerous passages of the Gospel, it is explicitly stated that the Son of Man came from heaven, or is in heaven, or will ascend to heaven. So, in John chapter 6, verse 38 says, "For I came down from heaven," and in John chapter 6, verse 42 says, "And they said, Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How then saith he, I came down from heaven?" And in John chapter 3, verse 13 it says, "And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in heaven." Note, the Gospel says that the Son of Man is in heaven, while at that time Christ was on earth. Note also that it explicitly says that Christ came from heaven, even though he came from Mary's womb and his body was born of her. It is evident, therefore, that the statement that the Son of Man came from heaven has not a literal, but a mystical meaning, in that it is not a material, but a spiritual event. The meaning is that, although Christ was apparently born from the womb of Mary, in truth he had come from heaven, the seat of the Sun of Truth, which shines in the divine realm of the kingdom above. And since it is evident that Christ came from the spiritual heaven of the divine kingdom, his disappearance under the earth for 3 days must have a mystical and not literal meaning. Likewise, his resurrection from the womb of the earth is also a mystical matter and does not express a material fact, but a spiritual one. And so his ascension to heaven is not a material fact, but a spiritual one. Apart from this, science has established that the material sky is an unlimited, empty and void space, in which innumerable stars and planets revolve. Let us therefore explain the meaning of the resurrection of Christ as follows. After the martyrdom of Christ, the disciples were confused and lost. The reality of Christ, which consists of his teachings, his gifts, his perfections, and his spiritual powers, remained hidden and concealed for 2 or 3 days after his martyrdom and had no outward appearance or manifestation. Rather, it was as if it were completely lost. In fact, those who truly believed were few, and those few were confused and lost. The cause of Christ was like a lifeless body. After 3 days, the disciples became steadfast and unshakable, began to help the cause of Christ, resolved to spread the divine teachings and put into practice the admonitions of their Lord, and endeavored to serve him. Then the reality of Christ shone forth, his grace shone forth, his religion was given new life, and his teachings and admonitions became evident and visible. In other words, the cause of Christ, which was like a lifeless body, was brought back to life and surrounded by the grace of the Holy Spirit. This is the meaning of Christ's resurrection, and this was a true resurrection. But since the clergy understood neither the meaning of the Gospels nor this mystery, it has been said that religion is in conflict with science. Because among other things, the ascension of Christ in a physical body into the material heaven is contrary to the mathematical sciences. But when the truth of this matter is made clear and its symbol is explained, it is in no way contradicted by science, but is affirmed both by science and by reason. The passage explains that the resurrection of Christ is not a physical event, but a spiritual one. Christ's coming and ascension into heaven are also interpreted mystically, not literally. The passage emphasizes that after the martyrdom of Christ, the disciples were lost, but after 3 days they regained their faith, began to spread his teachings, and the cause of Christ, his teachings, was as if brought back to life. This revival of Christ's teachings and the renewed courage of the disciples are the true resurrection. This video explores the meaning of Christ's resurrection through the Baha'i writings. Resurrection is not a physical event, but a spiritual one. It symbolizes the rebirth of Christ's teachings in the hearts and minds of his disciples after a period of confusion. The disciples, revived, spread his message, giving new life to the cause of Christ. This is the true resurrection. But how do Baha'is understand resurrection? Not as a physical return to life, but as a spiritual rebirth. After the martyrdom of Christ, his disciples were lost. Courage and faith had abandoned them. It seemed that all was lost. But after 3 days, something changed. The disciples found strength again. They decided to spread the teachings of Christ. His cause was revived. This is the true resurrection, according to the Baha'i writings. The rebirth of the teachings of Christ. The inner transformation of his followers. The resurrection is therefore a powerful symbol, not of a physical event, but of a spiritual transformation, of a new understanding and a renewed faith. The Baha'i writings invite us to look beyond the surface, to seek the deeper spiritual meaning in every aspect of our faith. I hope this video has given you a new perspective on the meaning of resurrection, an invitation to seek spiritual truth. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Share it with others who might find it interesting. Leave a comment with your thoughts.